Hi, my name is Vasu and I'm one of the co-founders of Lucio. Today, I'm going to walk you through three high-value use cases for barristers. We've seen other barristers and sets use Lucio for review, research, and drafting use cases. I'm going to walk you through all three of them very quickly today. Let me first start with review as the use case, and as you can see, we're on the review mode. I'll start by uploading a case bundle. And while that gets uploaded, let me quickly show you that this is just like a typical bundle. It has about 232 pages, contains various files in it. Um, and now I'm going to ask it to summarize this file for us. I know summary sounds like a very simple use case, but we've seen barristers use this very often, especially to understand longer files. We don't have limitations on the number of files that you can upload here or the length of the file. As you can see, it's drafted a summary of the documents that we were looking at. Still going on, in fact. But one thing I did want to highlight is that you're always in control and you can always verify everything that Lucio is saying. So for instance, as you can see, for every proposition, it has offered us various page citations. Not just that, when I click on any of these citations, what it does is that it opens up the document and the paragraph from which it's found that information and highlights that for you. Now, this makes it far easier to verify the work that Lucio has done for you. Great. There's one more use case in terms of review that I want to speak about, which is that barristers often deal with large number of files, and many of the general AI aren't able to cope with them. So let me just show you how Lucio copes with large number of files when especially many of them are scanned, they're not very clean. What I've done is that I've uploaded 50 files from the JFK declassified bundle. I'm just going to show you the quality of these files in a second. But as you can see, 50 plus files are being uploaded. I've just uploaded a zip folder. And as you can see, many of them have become active already here. And just one last one is processing. But till it processes, here is the quality of the file. And we know that barristers often deal with these files. They are we automatically OCR them, and that's one of the quickest OCRs that you would find. Now that all files are done, let me ask it to summarize the information in all these files. There you go. So you can see Lucio has started to read these files. It's going to read each of them, summarize information from them, and present it for our understanding very quickly. And as you can see here, Lucio's read each of them and it's summarizing the major themes and subject matter for each of the files. And again, as I mentioned earlier, clicking on any of the page number leads you to the file and the relevant portion of the file that Lucio's read. Now, the best part of it is that you can download these or share with your colleagues in form of a chat. This comes out as a beautiful Word document that you can rely on later. And there you go. It's done with all 55 files. Well, as I said, you can download these as a Microsoft Word document and you can see that Word document right here with the right references and so on. Summary is one use case, but let me show you a set of other use cases that we've built out for barristers. As you get access to Lucio, you'll get access to this prompt library and the workflows we've created for you. But I'm going to use chronologies as a second example. As you can see, I've picked up this prompt from our workflows and I've just used that as is. Again, we're going to wait 30 seconds while it completes generating its response. Again, as you can see, it's generated a set of chronologies for us in a neat format. Again, this is something that's hyperlinked back so that you can accurately verify whether or not the information is right. Well, we've seen users use it for generating cross-examination questions, for you know using it as a sparring partner that can help you identify what arguments can be strengthened and how they might be strengthened. I do want to walk us through another use case, and I know we were on review mode until now, and I'm going to move to research mode. I've been often asked that if you don't integrate with Lexis, Nexus, or Thomson Reuters, how are you finding relevance for research of this sort? And we've struggled with this question a little bit, but we found that barristers find it useful because of broadly two reasons. One is the breadth of the sources that it looks at. When you're doing your usual Google research, you usually end up reading a bunch of sources that show up on Google searches and iterate on them. And the second replacement that it's brought about is for you to look at some of the primary sources, including judiciary.uk website, gov.uk website, looking at National Archive, or even Bailey as a source. I'm going to quickly input a research question and see where it goes. Now, I've inputted a question asking it whether there are restrictions on barristers to use AI in the UK, and I've also asked it to provide me some recent case laws. Let's see what Lucio comes up with. As you can see, once it starts to respond, Lucio creates a nice research plan for it to use for its research. And then it goes ahead and starts to look at relevant sources. It's found some case laws that it starts to look at, and it rates on its own work. It goes on for about 30 to 45 seconds, in some cases longer than a minute or two also, before it sort of starts to generate its final report. As you can see now, it's decided that it has enough information and it's going to generate its research report. Now, as you can see, it's started to generate its report. Its report contains information about it contains a direct response to the question, and then it starts to summarize what the guidance documents are. As you can see, it's found the most relevant case in this case, and it tells you exactly what that case law is saying. Great. This is all on research. We appreciate that it won't contain your Lexis and Thomson Reuters, but do let us know if you find it useful. The final use case that I'm going to focus on now is going to be on drafting. For drafting, either you can draft here by switching the mode from research to draft, or I'm going to take a different example and I'm going to move to the word add-in. As you can see, the word add-in is open on the right, and there's an attendance note. It's a very simple use case, but it should give you a sense of what Lucio is capable of. I'm going to take a set of rough notes and provide it that, and I'm going to tell it that using the rough notes, update the attendance notes format here to include all the relevant details. Now, here, what's different is that Lucio is one sitting inside Microsoft Word. It can answer questions for you here, or it can make changes to the draft that you have. While it comes back with the changes, what it's going to do differently is that it's going to apply all those changes in red line, as well as leave comments for you to review those comments. So you can see it's started to give me a set of changes that are relevant to this document. If I like all of these changes, all I'm going to do is say apply all changes. And without modifying the structure or the formatting of the document, it starts to update the document in its entirety. You can be more descriptive or prescriptive about the changes that you would like for it to make. But as you can see, it goes on and it makes these changes right within Microsoft Word. These are three broad use cases: review, research, and drafting. Get in touch with us if you have any questions or if you'd like us to demo other use cases to you, and do provide your feedback to us. Thank you for listening in and hope you have a great day ahead.